You are 41 years old. It's a Tuesday. Nothing special about it. You're standing in your kitchen at 6:45 in the morning, coffee in hand, watching the steam curl up toward the light over the sink. Your phone buzzes. A text from your old coworker, Dana. Hey, are you around this weekend? Need to talk to you about something. You don't know it yet, but Dana is 3 weeks from losing her house. You don't know it yet, but in 2 hours, your boss is going to offer you a promotion you don't want. You don't know it yet, but 17 years ago, on a Tuesday, just like this one, you made a decision so small you almost forgot you made it. Nobody noticed when you made it. Nobody is going to notice today, either. That's the whole point. But something was about to change. You just didn't know it yet. Rewind 17 years. You were 24. You just got your first real paycheck. Not internship money. Not tips. Real money. Direct deposit. Your name on the stub. $2,140. You remember staring at that number like it was going to change your life. It didn't. Not the way you thought. Your roommate, Marcus, already had it figured out, or so it seemed. New sneakers every month. A leased car that smelled like vanilla and ambition. He'd walk into the apartment holding shopping bags and say things like, "You only live once, man." You believed him. Everyone believed him. You went out on Fridays. You upgraded your phone the day the new one came out. You didn't think about it. Why would you? You were 24. The future was something that happened to other people. Then your Uncle Ray came to visit. Ray wasn't rich. He drove a truck that had 190,000 miles on it. He wore the same brown jacket every winter for as long as you could remember. People at family gatherings used to joke about him behind his back. Careful, Ray. Big spender over here. He'd just laugh it off. But that weekend, sitting on your parents' porch, Ray said something you didn't understand yet. You know, the year I turned 24, I opened an account and told the bank to take $100 out of every paycheck before I ever saw it. Never touched it. Never even really thought about it again. You nodded politely. You didn't ask any follow-up questions. It sounded boring. It sounded like nothing. You had no idea it was everything. 3 months later, you did it. Not because you had a plan. Not because you read a book or watched a documentary or had some grand awakening. You did it because your bank app made it easy and Ray's voice was still somewhere in the back of your head. You set up an automatic transfer. $150. Every payday. Straight into an index fund you barely understood. You didn't feel different. You didn't feel rich. You just didn't see the money anymore. It disappeared before you could spend it, which meant you never missed it. Marcus noticed you weren't buying new sneakers anymore. You good? You've been kind of cheap lately. I'm fine, you said. Just being smart. He laughed. Smart is boring. You didn't argue. You just let it go. That was the moment nobody would ever notice. The moment the story actually begins. Fast forward 5 years. You are 29. Your friend group is changing shape. People are buying condos. People are getting engaged. People are posting pictures from Cabo with captions like "living my best life." You're still driving the same car you bought used at 23. It has a dent in the back bumper you never fixed. At a birthday dinner, your friend Priya leans over and says, not unkindly, "You're doing okay, right? You never really upgrade anything." You smile. "I'm good." Really. She doesn't push. But you feel it. That small sting of being seen as behind. You go home that night and open the account. The number on the screen is bigger than you expected. Not huge. Not life-changing. But bigger. You close the app and go to bed. You didn't know it yet, but that number was quietly becoming the most important thing in your life. And you were about to be tested. 31. You get a call from a friend named Julian. He wants an unsure thing. A startup, a crypto play, something with numbers that sound too good. Everyone's doing it. You're going to miss the wave. You almost say yes. You almost pull money out. But something stops you. Not wisdom, exactly. Just a habit you built years ago. The habit of not touching the thing you don't see. You say no. Julian doubles down anyway. 6 months later, he loses almost everything. You never say "I told you so." You don't feel superior. You just feel quiet. and a little relieved, and you can't quite explain why. That was the first time the invisible decision protected you. It would not be the last. 34. You get married. Small wedding. Nothing extravagant. Your new spouse, Sam, finds the account one night while doing your taxes. Together. Wait, Sam says, staring at the screen. How long has this been happening? Since I was 24. You never told me. There was never really anything to tell. It just happens now. Every 2 weeks. Sam looks at you differently that night. Not because of the number. Because of the 10 years of nothing that built it. 36. The recession hits. You watch the news every night. Layoffs. Market crashes. Neighbors. Putting houses up for sale they can't afford anymore. Your coworker Dana, the one who texted you at the very beginning of this story, comes into your office one afternoon, eyes red. They're letting me go. 12 years, and they're letting me go. You sit with her. You don't know what to say. You think about the least. Cars, the vacations, the new kitchen she renovated last year. You think about your own account, sitting quietly in the background of your life, untouched, unbothered by the noise outside. That night, your own company announces layoffs too. Your name isn't called. But for 3 days, you don't know if it will be. For 3 days, you sit with the same fear as everyone else. The difference is what happens after. You don't lose your job, but the fear doesn't leave right away. You start checking the account more than usual. Not out of greed. Out of survival instinct. The number has dropped. 15%, maybe more. Sam asks if you're worried. A little, you admit. But I'm not selling. Why not? Because Rain never sold. Not once. Not in 40 years. You don't fully believe your own words yet. But you say them anyway. And somehow saying them out loud makes them feel more true. This is the moment the story could have gone either way. This is the moment most people quit. You don't quit. You keep the transfer running. $150 became $300 became $500 over the years, quietly increasing every time you got a raise, before you ever adjusted your lifestyle to match it. You never noticed the raises the way other people did. You noticed them the way a river notices rain, absorbed, invisible, becoming part of something larger. 2 years pass. The market recovers. Then it grows past where it started. You are 39. You look at the number one night and don't recognize it. It doesn't feel real. It feels like someone else's account. You don't buy a boat. You don't quit your job. You just breathe differently. You didn't know it yet, but the escape had already happened. You just hadn't noticed the door was open. Which brings us back to the kitchen. 41. Tuesday morning. Coffee in hand. Your boss offers you the promotion 2 hours later. More money, more hours, more stress, more of your life traded for numbers you no longer need the way you used to. You surprise yourself. Can I think about it? Your boss blinks. Most people would say yes on the spot. I know, you say. That's kind of the point. You don't need the promotion. You want it, but you don't need it. And somewhere between wanting and needing, you find something you didn't expect. Choice. That weekend, you meet Dana for coffee like she asked. She's tired. She's scared. She tells you about the house, about the interviews that keep going nowhere, about the anger she feels every time. She thinks about the years she spent buying things to keep up. How did you do it? She finally asks. You don't seem worried about anything anymore. You think about how to answer. There's no dramatic story. No secret. Stock tip. No inheritance. No sudden windfall. I didn't do anything dramatic, you say. I just stopped seeing the money before I could spend it. That's it. That's the whole thing. Dana laughs, but it's not a happy laugh. That's it. For 17 years. That's it. She goes quiet for a moment. Nobody tells you that the boring choice is the one that saves you. You don't say anything. You just nod because she's right. You never became rich in the way people imagine. There was no mansion on a hill. No Lamborghini in the driveway. No magazine cover with your face on it. From the outside, your life looked almost exactly the same. You still drove the car with the dent in the bumper. You still made coffee every Tuesday morning. You still shopped at the same grocery store. Most people would look at your life and see nothing remarkable because they were looking for wealth, not freedom. The strange thing about financial freedom is that it rarely announces itself. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives quietly. The first time you realize you don't need to check your bank account before buying groceries. The first time an unexpected bill doesn't ruin your month. The first time your boss asks you to work another weekend and you realize you can actually say no. Not because you're wealthy, because you're no longer trapped. People think escaping the rat race means quitting your job. It doesn't. Some people never quit. They simply stop needing the paycheck. That's the difference. A paycheck used to decide where you lived, what you drove, how much stress you tolerated, how long you stayed in jobs you hated. Now, it's just income, not control. That's the freedom nobody can see. 2 days later, you meet Dana for coffee. She looks exhausted. She stirs her coffee for almost a minute before speaking. I don't know how you stay so calm. I feel like everything is falling apart. You think back 17 years. Back to your Uncle Ray. Back to one conversation on a porch. Back to one automatic transfer that never felt important. You smile. I never found a shortcut. I just made one small decision. And then I protected it for 17 years. Dana laughs softly. That's it. You nod. That's it. She sits quietly for a few seconds. Then she says something you'll never forget. Nobody tells you the boring choice is usually the one that saves you. You don't answer, because she's right. The truth is, nobody noticed when you started. Nobody noticed when you kept going. Nobody noticed when your investments quietly grew. Nobody noticed when you stopped worrying about money. Nobody noticed when your life slowly became your own again. Not your coworkers, not your neighbors, not even your friends. And for a long time, not even you. Because escaping the rat race isn't one big moment. It's thousands of tiny decisions, made when nobody is watching. One ordinary Tuesday, you wake up, you make your coffee, your phone buzzes, money arrives. You smile, not because of the amount, but because you remember the person who used to wait for payday just to breathe again. That person is gone now, not because you became rich, because you became free. People think wealth is measured by the size of your house, or the car in your driveway, or the watch on your wrist. They're looking in the wrong place. Real wealth is waking up on a Tuesday morning, knowing your time belongs to you. You escaped the rat race. Nobody even noticed, until the day it mattered.